It's a beautiful sight. We're happy tonight. Walking in a winter wonderland. Oh, hi. So you've caught me doing this right now. So I was just playing the game, kind of collecting my things, and I guess I'm wondering why you're here. Oh, right. I guess that means that it's about time for me to talk about the next event coming up, right? Event 28? Yeah, so this is the Event 20 introduction, entitled Winter Wonderland. Um, uh, there's a reason why I called it that, and I will talk about that in a minute, but I figured might as well kind of reflect on this year as a whole. So it's quite interesting that 2022 was an interesting year, let's put it that way. 2021 was a very sad year. That was when the game went on hiatus, or, when most people thought the game died. And then 2022 was the revival. And as you probably know, we had, probably back in May, to introduce a new update, which was a small one entitled The Egg Monsters from Mars. Then the game ended up celebrating the franchise's 30th anniversary and had RB Verde coming into the game. Well, not wrong guy. And Eric Atherby. There he is. There's the man in question. Sorry about that, man. I didn't mean to call you Verde. I don't know why that name was in the mind, but I'm sure I have a reason. And then recently, we have a new director who gave us this lovely update, which that is Return of Horrorland. And yeah, although it was small and sweet, it was nice to have this come back and do the things that we kind of tend to do. But anyways, I have some news regarding what's coming up next, and I'm sure you all are curious and excited to see exactly what might be the next thing in plan. But I have some good news and some bad news. So why don't we go ahead and talk about the bad news first. So originally, the game was going to be updated for December just in time for the holidays, right? There's a bit of a problem, and it's been postponed to next year, January. Meaning that this year we only got 3 updates. Oh boy. God, or I should say 3 major updates. So, yeah, it kind of sucks. But you might be wondering why is this happening, man? I thought the game was going to be continuing. Is this like the end? No, just relax, okay? Your old pal Grim here is going to be reassuring you. That's why these videos are existing, so that you are pretty much prepared for what's coming up rather than being disappointed. All right. So, here's the deal. Why is it being postponed? There's 2 reasons. Number 1, the lack of the fact that December is the busiest time of the year for them. They have 2 games that are going to be updated with the Christmas update, as they usually do. Not only that, but they have a new game in the works still, and I'm assuming that's going to be making its appearance for next year, if anything. But one of the big things about it is that this team that's working on this game are pretty small, so you can only imagine the amount of work and pressure it is, especially since this team also works on other stuff too. So you can tell that it's a bit stressful. So it would be easy to relieve the stress if you take something off of the equation and kind of come back to it when it's not so busy. And that's one of the reasons why they're doing it. But there's another reason too. The second reason is for quality of life and update. Yes, to fix some of the problems the game has for a little bit while. If you know, the last quality of life update we kind of got was maybe back in, I'm gonna say, maybe March or so, or February of 2020. I don't know, it was somewhere around 2021. Anyways, before the whole thing came up. But one of the things they did was they added all this land for free, alright? But there's a big problem with this land. Namely, this. This right here. The biggest problem. Because all this other stuff here can be grind, but not this. It takes way too long to grind for cash. And fortunately, The reason why they did this back then made sense because, you know, the game is going to be away for a while, so might as well have some time to kind of do some, you know, progression. But unfortunately, that didn't seem to be the case. So, yeah, we ended up coming into this point here where we have too much money to spend, like millions of coins, which is ridiculous to kind of get. I mean, I just reached the million right now, so you can tell how long it's going to be. But they've decided to fix this problem by one of the things they're going to be doing with this update coming up in December is going to be fixing the price issue. So hopefully the economy for these zones will be a lot more easier to be able to manage, and then, you know, might be a little bit more expensive moving up, but it won't be as bad as, say, this here. So hopefully it'll make it a little bit more easier and more manageable, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see and move from there and kind of progress from that kind of stuff there too. So that's part of the things of why they're doing this. But then you might be thinking, Grim, is that it? We're just getting a quality of life update? Well, there's another reason why they're doing the quality of life update. As you know, first of all, I feel bad for the people that play this game on an Amazon device, because Amazon does not care for them, because there was an update patch that was supposed to get this updated, but they didn't even bother reviewing it or putting it up. They just said, nah, they didn't even bother. So people got to miss out on doing this, and they will be compensated for the issue. But one of the things they talked about was they were returning this book eventually as a special book in some way, shape, or form, which means they're bringing them back. Now, for those who don't know what the special books are, allow me to show you. These are what special books are. These are past events that have been turned into permanent content in the side of premium kind of currency. So we have 10 so far, and it seems like that was the kind of number that they ended it off on, unfortunately. So some of them was from 2020, some of them was 2018, and some were just, I think one or two was probably from, whatever. There were some in 2019, some in 2018, and then some in 2020. So we had a mixed bag of such worse. And it sounds like they're going to be bringing them back as part of it. Now, what would be the case of this? Well, we're going into the Christmas season, so why not bring Christmas into this? But there's a problem, Grim, you might be saying, and that is that we already have Christmas books. Shop Till You Drop Dead and Attack of the Christmas Presents. So they can't really add Christmas book into the game, right? Because they're already there. And you're right, they couldn't. Except there is one book in particular that has not been put in there yet, but the content has been. And I think you know where I'm going with this. Yes. So the first book coming back into the game, if everything goes well, is the 12 Screams of Christmas. So we're going to get to see some of the fun stuff again. That means we're going to get to see our good old boy, Mr. Piccolo. You know, we get to see the spirit of Christmas himself, Mr. Marcus. And, this nightmare. But a lot of people are probably excited about that because, you know, it was one of the last big update we got before the whole 2021 thing happened. And it was probably a lot of people's, like, one of the best Christmas ones that we got, especially when it comes to event content-wise and all the interesting stuff they got going on here. So that's kind of cool. And what will be fun about it is that if things go well, we'll also be getting the terrain to change to from what it is now to the, can I stop clicking on this, to all the nice white stuff. Yeah, we're going back to snow. Hopefully we get snow and all the houses get turned into winterified. So it fits the season, so it fits the winter season. And it will help move into when this event update coming through eventually. That's the hope anyways, from what I understand. Now, will this happen? I'm not sure. It depends on what's coming up for this quality of life update. And when I finally get to see what ends up being the case, I can figure out what videos and what content I'll be making. But it'll be nice to kind of play special books again and be able to kind of revisit this holiday classic in the nice wintry getup versus how it was when it was just like, you know, melted snow past winter type thing whatever thing they got going on back in 2020. Yeah, it was an interesting design, but it wasn't Christmassy. You know what I mean? I mean, this just might be me, but whatever. I give him credit. It was an interesting kind of design and whatnot, so not too bad. But yeah, but that's not all. That's not the only thing. So it's just like you're probably thinking, oh, so it's just going to be quality of life thing to bring back a special book from an old event. So basically, it's just going to be rehashes of stuff and nothing new. Wrong. There is going to be something new. When this release of this 12 Screams of Christmas thing coming up, there's going to be new items for special requests. And these are going to be exclusive to this. So they're going to be new. They're going to be Christmas/New Year's related. And they may or may not be associated with the 12 Screams. I will have to wait and see what they end up, or what he ends up making or designing or requesting, and how long they're going to be and how much they're going to be. But I'm sure the patch note will explain that in the notes. So it'll be interesting to see what exactly is going to be the main gist of this. So that'll be fun to kind of look back at and kind of use and introduce to. And yeah, that seems to be it for now. But you're probably already coming into this video, and a lot of you are probably thinking, when is he going to talk about Event 28? Okay. Alright, it's delayed long enough. Let's talk about it. So we're not going to get it in December, but it is coming in January. And if things have been going the way it has been with repeating things in question, like repeats and whatnot, then what's probably going to be my bet is that it's going to come up in the middle of January. The middle week of January is going to be where they're going to be aiming at. And at worst case scenario, it'll start the week after. So the third or fourth weekend. That's what I'm thinking that they're going to be doing. Basically, they're going to be doing their two first games first, and then they're going to do this one. I think that's what their whole plan is going to be as far as event stuff goes. And I'm assuming if anything goes to plan, it's probably going to be like how it was for the last two updates, which is going to be 8 quests, which is, you know, kind of short, but, you know, we're going to be getting used to this now, unfortunately. 8 quests, and 1 new character, probably for premium, but it seems, so that's not too bad. And some other interesting stuff too. So yeah, I mean, if it's like the last update, then it's probably going to be like this update. So that's my thing. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. But again, at this moment, it's not guaranteed what's going on for now. I'm kind of new. I know what's going to come up. So what is the next update coming up? What is the book theming going to be? Well, I'll give you a hint. I'm not going to say what it is, but some of you probably already know. There's 1 or 2 of you who wanted this book to be in the game, and I can rest assure you that that's the next update coming up. As far as what it's going to be, well, I did a polls on my channel, and there was one in particular I did way ago, talking about, in a hypothetical, what would be a winter-related, Christmassy a book event that you would want to see, and I put some list up there, and as well as I throw in a, you know, another option type of thing. And it seemed like a lot of people liked 2 particular books, and one of them seemed to be a little bit more than the other, but I decided to put these 2 together because it's like, okay, they're about the same, like they were arguing with one another. So I decided to do a tiebreaker and put this post in the final voting, the end-all be-all, the group. And I had them decide on what the fate is going to be. And they, like, with no hesitation, one of the books ended up winning. And that book is going to be what's coming up next. So, if you know what I'm talking about, then you have a good idea what the next update's going to be. I have hinted at this stuff before, so you might be familiar with some things. What I can also tell you is that there is talks right now about new content coming up. So one of the things they're going to be doing is they're going to be working on a roadmap for 2023 and to figure out what they're going to be doing. And it's going to be interesting for 2023, which is significant because, I mean, technically this isn't true because the game came in beta, but official release. The game officially released back in 2018 in May, the end of May, which means by the end of May of next year, this game would be turned 5 years old. That's somewhat of an interesting milestone, which some games a lot celebrate the fact that they've passed 5 years. So there's a good chance that we might see something come up for the 5th year anniversary. And we'll have to wait and see exactly what ends up going, because that's a little bit too far ahead of the... That's like a half a year away. So let's not do that. What I can't tell you is that there is an update coming up after this one. So there is going to be an Event 29. And as far as what that one goes, what I will tell you is that update is something that's going to be planned, that was planned to be a post update back in 2021, way long ago, and it's going to be turned into here. So, and it's going to be an update I think a lot of people figured was going to be coming up, and it's going to be a little bit of a delay in the sense of the theming of it. But, you know, these books seem to be kind of fine, whatever. They're good in their own little bubble, so who cares? We celebrated Easter in May, so, who cares? We had it. But, yeah, so that's the whole dealio, and that's what's going to be coming up. So hopefully you enjoy what we have in store, and hopefully, I'm quite interested to see what's going to happen. Now, I'm assuming this update coming up is going to be somewhat like, it's not going to be anything too new. I mean, besides some items here and there, but it seems like there's still going to be something coming up for December, so that'll be fun to kind of see exactly what goes on. As for the promenade for December, I'm not 100% sure what they're going to be doing. I'm not sure if it's just going to be loading up an old promenade design that they did in the past. I'm not sure if they're going to be posting something in the form of a teaser, kind of like what happened back in January 2020, leading into the event of, the other thing, like, Valentine's Poison Lake. Or if it's just going to be just this. I'm not sure exactly, but I'm sure they're going to be testing it, and probably what they might be doing is they might have this promenade be set up for the next event update for January, so there won't be much of a change besides adding the new items and stuff here. So we'll just have to wait and see exactly what they have in plan. But my hope is we get some wintry stuff, and we get to celebrate winter for the winter month of December through February at least, which will be a first. So that'd be nice. Finally get some snow after what seems like 2-3 years now without snow. So yeah, that seems to be it for now. So yeah, that's roughly the gist of what's going to be coming up. So basically, in hindsight, let's recap everything. So the event that's coming up has been postponed to January. It's going to lead into February, and then the next update will be in March, going into April. So you get an idea of what's going on there. But yeah, and then the update coming up next, that's going to be a takedown update and also a quality of life update, will be an update that's hopefully bringing the 12 streams of Christmas, wintry stuff, and some new items to celebrate the Christmas holiday. So it may not be a Christmassy event, but it will be a Christmas update in that sense. So we'll still be celebrating it in our own special way. I will have to wait and see what ends up being the case and what comes up with this update, and I'll be doing a video in regard to that. I might also be doing a video looking at this year and last year as a whole, and kind of do my little review on that, because I tend to try to do reviews at the end of the years, so I might consider that. Again, I'll find out what this update is going to be. Once I know, then I have a good idea what I want to be doing as far as video goes. So that's what's going on. So yeah, hopefully this makes sense. Hopefully you are excited as much as I am, and hopefully it's not going to be too bad for you as far as things go. But yeah, that seems to be it for me. So, I guess we'll end it. So I will see you next time for whatever Christmassy stuff comes up. And if anything, I'll also see you when this new update comes in January. So until then, hope you have a happy holidays.